Gilmore Girls has an abundance of heartwarming and important episodes that I would love to watch again for the very first time. I remember tuning into the premiere on the WB in October 2000 and immediately being drawn into the lives of smart, studious Rory, Alexis Bledel, and her cool, bubbly mom Lorelai, Lauren Graham. I never missed an episode when it aired. Thanks to its clever dialogue and charming characters, not to mention the frustrations we all feel with certain plot points, the series is definitely rewatchable. And there are many fall-themed Gilmore Girls episodes that we all enjoy when it's that magical time of year again. But watching the show the first time around is a particularly fun, special, and moving experience, and I'm envious of new viewers who get that chance. Application Anxiety, Season 3, Episode 3. Can Rory's Ivy League dreams come true? Carol and Rory looking at something on Gilmore Girls. As Rory's desire to attend Harvard is a thread that is woven throughout the first few seasons of the show, this is an important episode for her character arc. It's also an exciting one to watch the first time around because it's as funny as it is emotional. My favorite scene is when Emily, Kelly Bishop, tells Lorelai that she's nervous Rory won't get into Harvard because celebrities like Kate Hudson are taking up the spots. Emily's rant is not only humorous, but it's also a rare time when she's vulnerable, as this proves that all she wants is for Rory to achieve what she wants to in life. The best part of the episode, though, is when Rory and Lorelai meet a wealthy family whose members all went to Harvard, except for quirky Carol Springsteen, Tinsley Grimes, who is a children's birthday party entertainer. The family is so strange, especially when they quiz each other at mealtimes, that it's a thrill to watch the first time. Friday Night's Alright for Fighting, Season 6, Episode 13. An intense, important moment for the entire Gilmore family. Gilmore Girls Lorelai, Richard, Rory, and Emily around table in Friday Night's Alright for Fighting. Gilmore Girls Season 6 isn't the best, as it's upsetting to remember that Rory and Lorelai don't talk for a while. Around the halfway point comes this episode, and I would love to go back in time and watch it without knowing what happens. Rory, Lorelai, Emily, and Richard, Edward Herman, have an epic argument at Friday night dinner, and the scene is so cleverly constructed that it feels like a play. The funniest part is, after they sit around the table yelling at each other, they discuss how great the dessert is, and Emily mentions it's passion fruit, not mango. The beauty of the episode is Emily and Richard's rawness and vulnerability as they explain how Rory hurt them when she asked Christopher Hayden, David Sutcliffe, to pay for Yale. I appreciated how honest everyone was and think this was a turning point, as they started to see Rory as more of an adult with a say in her own life. Written in the Stars, Season 5, Episode 3. A perfect first date for Luke and Lorelai. Lorelai and Luke on their first date in Gilmore Girls. Rewatching Seasons 5, 6, and 7 of Gilmore Girls can be frustrating because you know the problems in Luke and Lorelai's relationship, including Luke delaying their wedding. Watching Written in the Stars for the first time is so much fun because you can simply enjoy their banter and chemistry without all the baggage that comes later. There are so many romantic moments that prove the couple should be together, including Luke sharing that he saved a horoscope from Lorelai and telling her, "I am all in." When you see this episode for the first time, you feel all the emotions of a spectacular first date, and also appreciate how long the characters have known each other. The Lorelai's First Day at Yale, Season 4, Episode 2. It's a new life for Rory and Lorelai. Lorelai, Lauren Graham, and Rory, Alexis Bledel, hugging on Gilmore Girls. We all were curious about how Rory's adjustment to Yale would go, as it had just been her and Lorelai for so long, eating junk food and drinking coffee and facing the sometimes scary world together. The Lorelai's First Day at Yale is full of relatable moments, including when Rory realizes she's not ready to say goodbye to Lorelai just yet and wants her to stay over. The first time I saw it, I was nervous about whether Rory would find the confidence she needed to face this new challenge. I was glad when, by the end of the episode, Rory seemed stronger and more in control. It would be great to see this exciting episode without thinking about all the frustrating Yale storylines ahead. Those are Strings, Pinocchio, Season 3, Episode 22. A memorable season finale that sets up big changes. Rory, Alexis Bledel, making her graduation speech on Gilmore Girls. By now, I've rewatched the show so often that when Lorelai and Sookie St. James, Melissa McCarthy, say they're not sobbing through Rory's Chilton valedictorian speech and Luke says he's blubbering, I simply smile rather than laugh out loud. But this is a hilarious scene, and it would be fun to not know that it was coming. So much of Gilmore Girls has been building up to Rory graduating from high school and getting ready for the next phase of her life, which makes this episode feel so important. It's moving watching Rory sharing her love for her family and explaining why she enjoys reading so much, and I'm sure I wasn't the only fan who felt like I was watching a good friend reach a milestone. Rory's Dance, Season 1, Episode 9. A tricky episode to re-watch, but perfect the first time around. Rory, Alexis Blendell, and Dean, Jared Padalecki, in Gilmore Girls. Since Rory's dance features 2 intense fights, it's tough to watch over and over again, especially the scene when Emily tells Lorelai that Rory is going to follow her life trajectory. It's also hard to re-watch Lorelai getting angry with Rory for accidentally falling asleep while out with Dean Forrester, Jared Padalecki, as it's one of their first big conflicts at this point in the show. But when you haven't seen the rest of the series, the first half of the episode is a sweet look at the beginning of Rory and Dean's romance, and it's possible to get swept up in the thrill of a high school dance. Love, Deices and Troubadours, Season 1, Episode 22. The flawless Season 1 finale is sweet and romantic. Lauren Graham as Lorelai on her phone surrounded by yellow daisies in Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls season finales don't feature traditional cliffhanger with wild twists, but the first season ending is perhaps the most intriguing, besides Lorelai asking Luke to marry her at the conclusion of Season 5. I was on the edge of my seat watching the developments in Lorelai and Rory's love lives, and I think this episode is a great example of how vulnerable the characters should always be. I was shocked when Max Medina, Scott Cohen, proposed to Lorelai with 1,000 yellow daisies in Love, Daisies and Troubadours, and cheered when Rory got over her fear of telling Dean that she loved him. Rewatching isn't as enjoyable since you know what happens, but when you haven't seen it yet, this episode is a thrill. The Road Trip to Harvard, Season 2, Episode 4. A crucial episode for Rory and Lorelai's relationship. Rory, Alexis Bledel, and Lorelai, Lauren Graham, on Gilmore Girls. From the bed and breakfast Rory and Lorelai poke fun at to the aftermath of Lorelai deciding she doesn't want to marry Max, there's a lot going on in this Season 2 episode.